Cindy Barberi, thank you so much for coming on and talking about Cindy's Table, your book, self-published book. And you told me you're going for it. You spent time in your Nana's kitchen as an Italian, and you cooked. She taught you all kinds of stuff. But there was another life before that, yes?
Yes.
So take us up to how you got to this book and the fact that you're going to go for it, want to be a national chef and have a national show. So let's start.
Right from the beginning?
Yeah, start from the beginning.
Well, thanks for having me. And I do. I have a great story. I grew up in my Nana's kitchen. She was from Naples, Italy. And as a little girl, I just idolized her. And I wanted to be with her every moment of the day. And she loved to cook. So,
what were her specialties?
you know, she always had the big pot of sauce on the stove with the meatballs. So we would sit over the stove, breaking the bread, and just dipping it, you know, into the sauce all day long.
What's not to like about that?
Exactly. And I just loved to, whatever I could do, rolling the meatballs, we'd make lasagna, and we lived in my grandparents' home, so we would plan our family meals together. And I was the oldest grandchild, so her and I really had that bond together, and we would plan our Sunday dinners.
Did she make her own pasta?
She made her own pasta.
So did you lay it out on sheets on the bed?
And we did it all by hand. Well, she had this really long counter, and we would just lay it out, and she would have these little wooden contraptions in her kitchen, and we would just hang it up on there, and we would just do this all day long. And because we ate throughout the day, by the time we sat down to eat, we were full. But our joy was watching everybody eat the food.
Sure.
You know, we'd pass around the mapina, and we'd all share it, and that just brought so much joy to my family and to us. And as I grew older, even when I was in college, I was the one cooking for everybody. I just always loved to cook and feed people.
That's what we love about Italians. It's because food is love.
It is love. And no one would leave my house without a dish.
Of course. Here,
So
take a plate.
Take
Yeah.
a plate home with you. And I do that to this day. People leave my house with a dish.
Oh, absolutely.
And when I got older after college, I got married, and I became a single mother, very, very young. And I planned all of my kids' meals. So every week we would have a family meeting, talk about what we might want to eat for that week, and I would spend the entire day Sunday cooking.
So what did your children's school lunches look like? Was it like a full spread?
Well, it was very organized because my daughter would want like her ham rolled up in a separate container, so she'd have that. Everything had to be separated. And then when they came home from school, there would be individual containers if they wanted some meatballs or lasagna, or my daughter loved shepherd's pie. They could just warm it up in the microwave. So there was always fresh meals.
So this was a passion, even though you didn't know it was a passion back then, you were
Exactly.
building what you are today.
Exactly. You know, my grandparents said, you're going to business school. That's where it is. So I went to college for business. And when I found myself as a single mother, I didn't want to miss out on summer vacations and school
Sure.
vacations. So I took all the money I had in savings and started a software training company. And I started out of my house. Next thing I knew, I had 50 consultants working for me. I had the largest contracts in the state of New Hampshire, the Navy, large corporations, and I had a very successful business. But I still held every holiday, every birthday party, every cheerleading event at my house cooking. So that passion.
So when did the switch, because this is scary, you've got a successful business that you built from the
Right.
ground up. When did the switch go off to say, you know, I'm so over this and I'm going to try something new? Because a lot of folks think that, they don't act on it. So how did you do that?
You know, I think, and maybe it's being Italian, you just, you know, you just go for it, and you don't really care what anybody else says, you just do it. Well, when I moved to Connecticut 7 years ago, I married the most amazing man, and him and I just became BFFs right away. And all these changes happened at once. Got remarried, moved from New Hampshire to Connecticut, became an empty nester, and I really didn't have my business anymore because I dissolved it, moving to Connecticut, and I just started cooking. And a way for me to meet new people in Connecticut was I was cooking for everybody. I'd bring food to my gym, I'd invite friends over. So it just started happening. And then I knew I had this cookbook, and my husband said, publish that cookbook. So it started with the book. And then I started my blog, and people started, you know, emailing me.
And then the website.
The website. And people email me. I get at least 25 emails a day on people wanting entertaining tips. I'm having a shower, what can I make? So, and I love it.
Do you answer
I
everybody?
answer every single email I get.
If I'm going to have a baby shower, what am I going to have? Give me an answer.
If you want a baby shower during a lunchtime, you want food that you could make in advance. So if you want it to be Italian, lasagnas are great because you can make it 2 or 3 days ahead of time and put it in the freezer, and when everybody comes over, it comes out. Make food that you can prepare in advance. So when your guests come over, it's easy.
So you can enjoy them.
But you want to be ready. You want to be the house clean. You don't want to go to that stressful event, and you never want to try a new recipe. That's not the
See,
time
I've
to
done
say,
that, and
yeah.
it's been a disaster.
Yeah,
and you're trying to cover it up or put some frosting
you want to
over
make something that you
it.
know you're really good at, and even if they've had it before, you know it's going to come out perfect. Stay in your comfort zone. So that's what I tell everybody.
So you have Cindy's Table, you've got the website, you're doing some television. What's the goal, Cindy?
You know, I'm going national.
I love that.
And I'm going there. I've been working very hard. I have a great publicist. I have a team. And we're just doing all the right things. We're blogging, we're cooking, we're on all the affiliates. You know, we're really taking that passion and making it happen. And I'm getting that exposure.
What makes you different from every other home chef in the world that's doing their thing and trying to get on TV?
You know, I have the experience. You know what it's like to not have a lot of money and okay, we have to make meals for the week because we're not going to go out to dinner, but I want to make it special and make it gourmet so my kids feel like they're eating this fabulous meal. You know, I can be creative. I can open up a refrigerator and come up with a full course meal. If 2 or 4 people show up at my house for dinner, I can feed them.
Can you come home with me? Because I would love you to just open up, you know, just, okay, we're having this
And
today.
I can just whip something up and it will be great. And I just have that passion too, that I just enjoy it. It makes me happy.
You talk so much about your Nana. What is it about her, besides the cooking, that you embody that you're going to take this forward and make it and go national?
You know, she was so full of love and passion in everything, in her family, in her cooking, and everything that she did. And I got that from her. And I just know that, you know, there might be some roadblocks along the way, but I'll jump right over them and keep going. I'm not a stopper. I'll keep going.
And people who are watching this, I'm sure, are thinking, oh, sure, you know, that's easy. But you've already said it hasn't been easy. So what keeps you going even when you do hit the roadblocks?
Because I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm creating, you know, wonderful dishes, healthy dishes. I really try to, you know, make everything easy. You know, my whole motto is, if it comes from the stove to the table in one pot without making a big mess, that's a wonderful dinner, because we don't want that big mess to clean up. So I want it easy, I want it delicious, I want things that you can make in advance so you're not stressing at dinner if you have to get to the kids' soccer game or other events. You know, I really believe in easy entertaining. You know, make it easy. Have a gourmet dinner, but it's prepared in advance.
Well, I wish you so much luck. And before I let you go, favorite dish? If you had to whip something up right now, what is it?
You know, chicken parmesan.
Oh, how
I
Italian.
just cannot eat enough of chicken parmesan.
Well, I wish you so much luck.
Thank you, Ann.
And come back when you're national.
I sure will.
Remember the little people.
I sure will.
Thanks, Cindy Barberi.
Thank you.
Made a trivial pursuits when we're missing. Who's this girl I spend all night kissing? And the woman's right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked if I'm a wishing to find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store of my mind, just to save time. Skip right ahead to the last ride. The harder we look, the less we can see. Don't you know, you know, you know that you need me.